Okay, so the first part of cleaning the surgery room, I like to think, is cleaning everything off. One thing including is the drapes. Best thing is to spot clean as best as you can. I use a damp brush, sometimes hydrogen peroxide on a little gauze pad. If it's too badly destroyed, there are blue drape material right in the corner to the right of the autoclave. I will show that, but right now we are using one that I spot clean, and that is all dry. There's a particular way to fold it, and that's what I'm going to show you today. So firstly, start off horizontal fold or hot dog, whatever works, and then you go vertical fold right across. So you're doing 1/2 fold down, 1/2 fold across. Make sure to keep track after you fold this in. This is your middle part, so I like to keep this folded so I can keep track of it. Next part is you fold it again, vertical. So 1 down, 2 vertical, and then, shockingly, third one is also vertical. So now we have our little corner piece that we tucked. So I flip it on its back, I make sure that it's the one showing, and you just kind of fold it so it ends up like this. Very cool. And that is that. Next is the gowns. Oh, ignore the note. Next is the gowns, which also have a very particular way of being folded. So I like to flip them where the front is facing forward or facing up. First thing I do is I fold the sleeves in, both. Like that. And then I will take one side and I fold it in. And then I take the other side and I fold it in. The goal is you want the front to be the most sterile, so you keep that tucked in. Next, you fold it in again. So 2 different halves, same thing on the other side. Fold it inward, just kind of fixing it as you go. And then last part is to connect the 2 halves and fold them over each other. I like to just kind of flatten it out as I go along. So same thing with the drape. You fold, you keep the top up. Doesn't matter with this one because both sides are the top. And you fold in a zigzag, like so. And then I like to fold it over just another time, and then just so the doctor can easily pull it up. And that is that. Another thing about the drapes, these can be washed. I don't really like to put them in the dryer. My little trick is I keep the table warm, so I keep it plugged in, and after I wash it, I bring it on the table to dry, and then I fold it, and then, so that is that. Okay, the next part to closing / cleaning the surgery room is the packing of both the gowns and the tools for the autoclave so that they're sterile for their next use. Right now we are packing the general pack. This includes 2 towel clamps, 4 mosquito forceps, 2 tweezers. One is straight, the other has 2 little pinchies. This is the rat tooth comb. This is the other one that I'm blanking on the name. You have scalpel handle, curved scissors, straight, and suture scissors. So that is all of the tools that you have for the general pack. The other things that go in the general pack are a singular drape and these sterile strips where you could find to the leftmost drawer to the sink. where the tape and Sharpie and everything else are, as well as 10 counted gauze. So first thing that you do is, I like to leave the towel clamps last because they like to hook on other instruments, so I like to leave them last. So I start with the 4 forceps. I just kind of collect them like so. And then it's your curved, straight, and suture. And then afterwards, I like to put the towel clamps on top. Each have a very particular order of how they go. Next is your scalpel blade. And depending on how you lay the tools, you want it through the back handle, if that makes sense. So they lay flat like this. If you do it the other way, they kind of curve upward a little bit, which is fine. It's just, whatever works for you. This I found is the easiest, so they lay flat like that. So you got all of your tools there. Let's move this over a little bit. Lastly, I put the little tweezers wherever they could fit, so I either do one on each side or both near the suture scissors. Next, you have your gauze. I place the gauze on top. Be careful of tools slipping out. Just, if that happens, just pull the scalpel handle a little bit towards the other side, not too much, like so. Next is your drape. Remember the corner fold. I try to put it where I'm covering all the tools. Sometimes that doesn't happen. No need to worry. Just cover as much as you can. And then lastly, you have your sterile strip. I like to flip it and fold it so the people who are opening the pack, whether it's the techs or the doctors, they could see that this will be sterile because the K will be filled in. Next is the folding part, is the, what I like to call the fun part, but you take the bottommost fold closest to you, and you pull it really tight and you fold it over, slowly moving your hand out, checking the tools are still there. And what I like to do to make sure it stays tight is to put one hand over, and then you fold it back, and you keep folding that until you have just a little flap where somebody could easily pull it, all the while keeping at least one hand to keep the tightness of it. Next, you go to the right side and you fold. Same thing, super tight, slip your hand out. I just like to straighten it up a little bit, fold over. I like to fold over either 2 or 3 times. And then this is the left side of it. Now pointed towards me, I'm pulling it super tight, folding it over. Same thing. And then for the last part, I like to keep turning it just so it's easier for me, but this was originally the top portion. Same thing, you're gonna pull it super tight, but instead of folding it over, you've created this little pocket right there that you just kind of stick it in. Always leave a little dog ear flap so whoever can just pull it out. And that is our first layer. With a general pack, you always use a small cloth and a medium-sized cloth, both found underneath the autoclave. So same thing, or, oops, sorry, I almost forgot. Always place the dog ear pointing to the left. So put it in the middle, dog ear to the left, and then same thing, start at the bottom, fold over, keeping one hand down, and then to the right, fold over. So this is the left side, and then this is the top, and then same thing, just kind of tuck it in there, leave a little piece where somebody could grab it, and that is your folded general pack. One thing left is a piece of tape. Anytime we make a pack, or anything really that goes in the autoclave, it's labeled. Usually it's labeled what it is, the date, and a signature. All super important. For a general pack, it's G/P, and then just the date, today's date, and your signature. All right, that is your finished general pack. Next up is the gown and towel, which is what you use a medium cloth and a large one for the outside. So with your medium cloth, you place your gown on top. Doesn't really matter which way. I like to put it facing the left. Doesn't really matter. And then instead of a drape or anything, a blue towel found where the cloths are under the autoclave is placed on top. And then also another sterile strip. I like to make a little ear so you can kind of just tuck it in. And then same thing as the general pack. Start from the bottom, make it really tight, fold over. And then starting to the right. Now the left. And the more you do it, the faster you'll get, so don't worry, take your time, and if there are anything that comes up, or if you think you're missing a tool or an extra tool just showed up, please ask. It does not hurt to ask. Yeah, so that's our first layer. Next, I'm gonna lay out the large cloth. Same thing, dog ear to the right. Start at the bottom, fold up, over. I like to straighten it out so it's not all wrinkly, or not too bad at least. And then same thing. With the large ones, it's kind of hard. You could fold them a lot more than you can with the medium or small size. And then just the main thing is you want everything to be kept in really tightly. You want to keep it as sterile as long as possible until the doctors or somebody open it for surgery. So super duper important that you have your other hand there when you fold it so you could keep that tightness. And then last one. Tuck it in, and then same thing as the general pack. To finish it off, you have a piece of tape. We always like to fold the end of it. It just helps whoever pulls it off. With the gown and towel pack, the only thing that's different is it's G/T, and you write the color of the gown. So the color that we folded in was blue. There are blue and green ones. This one was blue, so I wrote blue, the date, and my signature. You just tape it on the side. And that are your gown and general packs. Last thing is extra tools, quote unquote. If it was a spay, it could be a spay hook or a spay pack. They're usually put in these blue sheets, and these are found to the right of the drape material, to the right of the autoclave. Easier when you find it. And anytime that you put something in there, you always write what it is, the date, and your signature. And then really quick, after they autoclave, so these ones have not been put in the autoclave, but when they are done, this is the autoclave, the spay packs, everything is very nicely labeled. Spay packs, spay hooks go in here, as well as these other things. You could always just take a look and familiarize yourself with what's in here. There's also the thumb forceps, needle holders, and hemostats. You got a bunch of other things up here, sterile towels. And if you're ever unsure of what has been used, just take a look in the garbage. These packs will be thrown in the garbage after they're open, or just ask somebody.